For everyone fighting for their lives every single day to climb the ranks, I'm going to tell you the secret to becoming part of the 1 to top 3% of players in League of Legends. I promise you I'm not giving you the nonsense, be consistent and have good mental advice. That's not how you climb. Obviously, I'm not the best player in the world, but I'm consistent enough to hit diamond pretty easily on 4 different accounts, so I'm gonna dive into exactly why I did. This year, I managed to climb a diamond on 4 separate accounts where I achieved it within 60 to 120 rank games. What makes me different is I didn't really one-trick any champion or stuck with any role. I just really played whatever I felt like. Although achieving diamond is an accomplishment for new or veteran players, it's not enough to make me happy. But let's be real, you can't be happy playing League. I made these accounts for the sole purpose of climbing to Challenger, but this season has been extremely unfortunate. The LP gains are a joke, while the amount of times I've been 1 win away from Masters before I went to Losers Queue from Diamond 1 to Diamond 4 was vexing. This happened 4 times, and this is why I have so many games on each account. I want to note there were days where I just couldn't climb. I either went on huge winning streaks, hard losing streaks, or just win, lose, win, lose, win, lose the entire day to the point I gained a net of negative 15 LP over 10 games. I wasted part of my life in this clown show for no reason. Anyway, I'm sharing this little backstory to highlight that it's not just a walk in the park. You can't just wake up tomorrow and suddenly expect to be diamond. So let me dive into each individual account and describe the approach I took on them. I wish I had this information earlier, but hopefully I can save everyone some time and help you climb faster. Here we go. I'm going to quickly glance over this account because this was split 1 of season 13 before Emerald was even a rank. On this account, I exclusively duo queued every single game and we climbed the diamond in 56 games. We just played whatever role we wanted, but we won the majority of our games playing ADC support and mid top. I would confidently say the teammates we received in our team were worse than the normal solo queue experience, but nonetheless we got through it. I would have kept playing after hitting diamond, but the season was ending a week after, so it wasn't worth it. Moreover, I can confidently say we carried 95% of our games. Even though I didn't duo queue often for the other 3 accounts, I just wanted to go over this to demonstrate how much easier it is to climb with a decent duo. You can switch up any of my accounts and check the stats and matchmaking, but this account did get banned, but not for the reason you might have think. So let's move on to the next account. Dillerus, it was already established from a previous plat season MMR, and I had to essentially thug it out. What I mean is I literally mentally endured climbing with plus 15 to 18 LP gains from Emerald 2 to Diamond 4 at a 60% win rate. I'm not gonna lie, these games felt extremely coin flip and were honestly torture. Not only did I lose at least negative 28 LP per loss, but the only games I won was by hard carrying. You know, sometimes we get games where you just team out the other team. This did not happen. I swear to God, these games from Emerald 2 to Diamond 4 are harder than Masters and Diamond 1 games. Like, cut the cameras, I'm not joking. There's too many liabilities, which made it harder since nobody wanted to win. On this account in particular, I played a lot of ADC and top depending on my mood and how my queues were going. If my top lane was consistently underperforming, I started playing top only for my bot lane to start underperforming. And when I resigned myself that I need to play ADC and make more of an impact, I was given a subhuman support, plus top lane was griefing, so it's not fun either way. Like, I truly understand the pain of having terrible teammates, and I wonder the same thing you guys do. How in the world did these players ever climb this far? Eventually, I made it by taking reasonable risk in lane because I knew if I went even in lane, especially my queues, it's not enough to win the game. While mid lane is my best and main role, Riot did not want me to play on this account for some reason, and it was just literally cursed. Every time I played mid, I fought for my life harder, and these games were just truly unreal. I had more success climbing on literally every role, but I'm not sure why I couldn't play mid on this account. Win lane, lose game, am I right? Alright, let's move on. I just described my approach for climbing on my Heartstuck account. Now let's compare this account to my Fresh Smurf accounts. So I know climbing on Fresh accounts is 2 times faster than climbing on the previous established MMR account, by the way. So I definitely would recommend making a new account. For some reason, however, when I started climbing on the Fresh accounts, I ran into incredibly unlucky circumstances. Not only once, but twice, I instantly lost 2 of my 5 promo games on 2 separate Fresh accounts because I had 2 people who ran it down, then AFK'd both games. Having to keep my mental together, I even managed to turn around and even sped run to one of my accounts 2 wins away from Masters in just 6 days on stream. So how did I do it? Despite it being cursed from day 1, I managed to climb essentially half a rank a day. I played jungle, and even though I had a huge champion pool, I narrowed it down to either Graves, Kha'Zix, and Jarvan. Day 1, I started Silver 2 and climbed to Gold 4. Day 2, I climbed to Gold 4 to Plat 4. Day 3, I climbed to Plat 4 to Emerald 4. Day 4, I climbed to Emerald 4 to Emerald 2. Day 5, I climbed from Emerald 2 to Diamond 2. And finally on day 6, I was Diamond 1 and 2 games away from Masters. All in just 105 rank games, by the way. On day 5, I managed to win 14 games that day, and it was honestly crazy. You'll see that after I hit Diamond 1 on this account, it sat there for 3 days and then dropped to Diamond 4. I then climbed back to Diamond 1 myself before I met the same fate, and if you don't believe me, you can always check the games I lost here. It's the beauty of online documentation. My mind, body, and soul was intact, but these games were honestly just not winnable and extremely suspicious. Anyway, the key takeaway was I started off both accounts only playing jungle and controlling the game. When I reached Emerald 2, that's when I stopped jungling because I was putting so much effort in these games and giving every single lane huge lane advantages for them just to throw it and just have it to be a team gap at the end of the day. The only answer is to carry harder, of course, but if the kills don't transfer to me, I don't have a big enough advantage to hyper carry games. I'll have games like this when I hyper carry, or games when I just have only assists and it's just not enough when I know my team will not carry me. After stopping jungling, I started playing mid and ADC and surprisingly saw progress climbing. I hit diamond on both of these fresh accounts this way and it just worked for me. This is when I started abusing Syndra and Orianna in the mid lane to start setting and engaging team fights, while I played ADCs based on the enemy comp bot lanes such as Xayah, Lucian, Sivir, and even more. Well, I just described my experiences of climbing the diamond on 4 separate accounts this year. Now let's break down the small little things that you have to do in order to climb successfully. I'm a pretty real and sometimes blunt person, so I'm going to tell you the tricks high elo players are using and gatekeeping. Let's go. The first step is to dodge unwinnable games. You have to be able to identify when your comp is absolutely unwinnable. You have to think realistically about the type of players who play these type of champions and how they usually perform in your games. Being able to recognize when your team composition is absolutely terrible is a critical skill to avoid decreasing your MMR and decreasing your overall LP gains every time you lose. I'm going to show you some examples of team compositions on the screen and then show you the winning result afterwards. I want you to pick which comp you think will end up winning the game. After just doing the exercise, I'm not saying these are absolutes in determining whether you win or lose the game, because if you give T1 the quote-unquote worst comp, they will absolutely dominate you. What I am saying though is solo queue players are what I call liabilities, and you cannot truly rely on any of these players to play the game correctly. I just wanted to see if you might have the skill already, or if you didn't, this is your sign to develop it. If you're able to easily recognize comps that you know will lose, it's better to lose at -5 LP than -28. I'll make a video on which champions and which lanes to dodge in the future, so make sure you check those out and stay on the lookout for those guaranteed lost champions. Ping your players off plays. The second step is to essentially babysit your teammates with pings. Not only does this increase your map awareness, but it stops your teammates from making dumb mistakes that cost the game. Even though it is truly out of your control, if you're using the caution ping to ping your teammates away from suicidal plays that throw the game, you hope they listen and avoid making game losing mistakes. They don't always listen though. Even in Grandmasters and Challenger lobbies, they still don't listen. It's incredibly frustrating, but if you want to climb and become a better player, you need to be able to do this. Do not do this to the point you're just annoying your teammates though. There is a limit. The third step is being able to snowball and convert your advantage in lane to your entire team. You have to pick up champions that are useful and impactful and fed, not for fun champions such as Teemo. League is a game of making quick and smart decisions, so being able to logically put together your course of action, whether it is to wait for an objective or force a fight while you have the numbers advantage, is incredibly important. Mastering the ability to convert your lead into controlling the entire game is tough and stressful, but when you repeatedly get leads over and over again, push yourself and find the limits of your champion. This will slowly allow you to accumulate the experience and knowledge to control the entire game to your advantage. Things like this take time. You won't just be able to wake up tomorrow and just expect to be better. The fourth step is to have a lot of ponies. Even though I didn't stick to one or a few champions, I'm only able to do this because I've already mastered these champions throughout the 10 years I've been playing League. I honestly recommend mastering 5 champions for every situation needed in whichever lane you choose. This is crucial because you're given more freedom to choose champions you're comfortable with against compositions that your one trick might not be good into. For example, let's say you're a Garen one trick. Personally, if I've seen a Garen mid on the opposing team and I'm playing top, I'm playing either Renekton or I'm just not in the mood, I'm gonna play Vayne or Varus top and ruin your entire experience. You would not be able to play the game, especially if you're not getting ganks. Now let's say you have Malphite Master. He's a rock solid, easy brain dead champion to play, and you're picking this because it connects your team comp together. Picking Vayne into this would be idiotic by the way, so I would never do this. But what I'm getting across is highlighting how you have potential to provide your team with better champions for different compositions. Not only are your abilities expanded to numerous champions, but you'll be able to play against these champions even better because you have a great understanding of them. I have a relative memorization of every champion's cooldowns through mastering them over the years, so I know which windows of opportunities to take and where I can find angles to trade. And the fifth step. This is probably not what you want to hear, but you have to be consistent. I'm talking about how you should never be losing lane against the majority of matchups unless you're getting camped and dove the entire game. You should always aim to go even, however this doesn't mean to play passive the entire game. I'm saying this in regard that you should never feed your laner more than 2 solo kills, and if you end up doing so, you need to farm the entire lane and play with patience in order to play with your team and contribute your kit later on. It doesn't matter if you're 30 CS down, if you're not dying and feeding your laner, this gives your team a better chance to play together and win the game. I cannot stress this enough. You need to never be the reason you lose a game, and if you end up getting gapped, you need to VOD review and evaluate why you lost so hard. Whether it's mechanically or macroly, you can easily identify what went wrong if you watch it back in the VODs, and you'll have a "why did I do that" moment. It sucks when you're the reason you lost a game, so let's learn from it and try to avoid making the same mistake in the future. At last, most importantly, you need to understand the system in order to beat it. The more games you play and lower the win rate you get, the higher chance the account just becomes coin flip and hard to climb out of. I was once a hard stuck plat player 3 years ago, and I knew I was better than the diamond players I kept playing against, but I just couldn't seem to break through my promos. After realizing how MMR and LP games work and looking into videos on how people are actually climbing so fast, you need to make a decision whether to keep spending countless hours climbing and coin flipping your hard stuck account, or just make a brand new account and climb to rank faster. Here's an example. Despite hitting diamond 1 on the Dillerus account, I've been playing on this account for fun and not really caring about the rank anymore after it dropped to diamond 4 the 4th time and having to climb it back up. The reason I'm telling you this is the account is currently in Emerald 2 with around 400 games just around like 5 days ago. But if I restarted on a fresh account winning 40 plus LP with higher MMR rather than this account which wins around 15 LP and loses negative 30, I would have a faster time and better chance to climbing the masters than I would on this account. There is no reason to put yourself at such a disadvantage when it's clear the system is trying to hold you back. Last but not least, speaking from experience, do not let this game take your soul unless you're trying to pursue anything in it. Do not spiral down the drain thinking you're not good enough or spend countless hours mindlessly playing. I know the desired feeling of wanting a rank. Trust me, I know, but if you try these recommendations, put the energy to consistently improve, and take constructive criticism, you will be able to climb. At the end of the day, rank is just a color. You have a better time playing League if you're actually enjoying it and not just playing to climb. I only play ranked for the sole purpose of hitting Challenger in order to open more doors for me. I need to get the rank to prove I should have been here a while ago, and for the viewers who tuned into my stream and supported me throughout this time, thank you for your support, and hopefully 2024 is my year. I hope you guys got useful information from this video, and if you enjoyed the video, you should totally like and subscribe, and let's see if we can change each other's lives. Have an amazing day, guys.